Hello guys, my name is Pagos Athanasios from Future Code. Today we will see how to do a Stripe integration to our website. I will have two use case scenarios. On the first one, which we will see today on this video, the part 1, we will see a basic integration, just a payment page on which the user can pay. On our second tutorial, which I will release in a few days, we will see more advanced stuff. Today we will see a basic integration, just how to give your user the ability to pay using Stripe. So an example of what we're going to see, let me an example is that not the calculation part, just the other part on the next page. I might do a tutorial for the calculation as well in the future. Let's have that here. You will have a payment page and your user will be able to enter his card data, and then this data will be sent to Stripe for authorization or decline. Your user will be able to enter his card data so that you can charge the amount that you have agreed. The first thing that you're going to need is a payment page, just data page, any page can do. You will need some fields, user input and some input fields. We will have one for the amount, one for the description, on the IDs that I just filled, you can have pretty much anything you want, but if you're a beginner in Wix Code with not much experience, I suggest you follow exactly what I do so that you won't run into any problems later. But yeah, you can have any ID you want here. And then we need our fields for the card. Okay, these are all the fields that you're going to need. The next step that you have to do is on your page code, you will have to paste the code that I will provide below in the description for you to just copy and paste it. We will do some changes, but first copy the code, paste it here, and follow me exactly on the changes that I will make. So paste the code here, and now on here you will need to change some things. First, the IDs of each element. In my example, I have these IDs. On your side, you will have your IDs. Now, or if you followed my example step by step without changing the IDs that I will put here. So the cardholder name is my C name. The number is the card. The CVC is CVC. The expiration year is W, is YR. And the month is Mon. Now that we have that ready, the next step is on your function change state, to change some things there. Here we'll need the ID of the amount, which is amount. And on the description, the ID of the description, which is DESC. Again, this ID is on my example. You might have different IDs if you have entered different IDs there. So now you have changed everything. You're ready. Oh, you also need a button, of course, to submit the payment. Let's have that here. Charge card and an on-click event. Now on this on-click event, we will need to write pay now. You do not need to know what this function does. It basically just calls some functions from the backend. It basically just do some things on the background for you. You do not need to worry about it. You just need to have it there. So on the button on-click, the on-click event, just write pay now. The next thing, we will need two on-change events, one here and one here, for our amount and our description. And here we will need to have change state. Again, you do not need to worry about that. You just copy paste it like that. The change state basically just changes the amount and the description accordingly on what the user have entered. You do not need to worry about that though. Just paste it there. So you're done from this page. Nothing to change there. The next thing we will have to do is go on the left toolbar, click public and add new file. Stripe API. And here we will paste our code. So just delete that and paste the code here. Now, the only thing you have to change is the API. We will see that in a bit. Let's create another one, the backend. We will name that Stripe Proxy. I do suggest keeping that names the same, because if you change that, you would also have to change it from the page code, what script you're calling. It's best to just leave it like that. Delete that code here and paste the code here. All this code can be found on the video's description. You do not have to write it by hand. Don't worry about that. So now for the API keys, you will need to go on your Stripe account. I have created a test account because obviously we're going to see some API keys. And of course, no one should know your API keys. So you have two keys, your public key and your private key, or secret key and publishable key as Stripe calls them. So your private key, no one should know it. Your public key, it's okay because we're going to have it on our public script anyway. So first take your public key and paste it here. Not here, on the public, here. API key, just paste it here. On your public, the Stripe API.js. Now go on the Stripe proxy.jsw and paste this key, your private key there. So take your private key and paste it here. That was all. Now your page is ready to accept payments. Let's go and test it. Let's have $5. test payment as a description. Now for the card holder, let's use Google for that. Let's use a Visa card. Card number here, name doesn't matter. CVV here, again I don't think this matter anyways. And click charge card. Now as you can see, the payment did not go through. Yeah, when you see undefined here, it's because it didn't go through. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're using a test account. So this is a test environment. So only specific card payments are going through in this test environment. You do not need to worry about that on your live environment, on your live Stripe account. The processing will be done normally. Let me just get a valid test card. Okay. So for our test purposes, this is a valid test card for Stripe. And when I click charge card, I see that I'm getting a charge ID. This means the charge went through. If I go to my Stripe account and click events, I will see that this was a successful payment because I used a valid test card. And I also see the failed attempts because I used a non-test card. Again, you do not need to worry about that. This only happened because I'm on test environment. And this was pretty much it. On our next tutorial, we will see more advanced stuff on what you can do with this integration, like the one I showed you at start. Create a payment page, for example, and not defining the amount here. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like the video. It helps me a lot. See you in our next video. Have a nice day.